We spent the weekend in the countryside, and after months of recovery, the girls were finally ready for a proper adventure. The weather had turned beautiful, and as soon as we arrived at the smallholding, Foxy's reaction said everything. This was her first time back in the countryside since her surgery, and you could just see her trying to process every single smell at once, like she was catching up on months of missed information in real time. She was completely overwhelmed in the best possible way. The girls got straight to exploring, sniffing every corner, figuring out the best way to go and explore their beloved favorite place. Foxy is still limping on her right back leg, but honestly, she doesn't seem like she is in pain. She just showed pure joy. At this stage, I try to let her do her own thing as much as possible, and watching her potter around happily is just the best feeling. The miniature ponies were out, and of course the girls were desperate to go and say hello. But since Foxy isn't quite as quick on her feet yet, I kept them at a safe distance. I didn't want any sudden movements catching her off guard. I went over to say hello myself while the girls watched on, very unimpressed that they weren't invited. Then it was time for a walk in the sunshine, and we had quite the crew. Some family joined us, and we ended up with a little pack of 6 dogs, including some Chihuahua friends that the girls absolutely love. Sometimes the girls would lead the way, sometimes Foxy would hang back a little, but she was out there, keeping up the best she could and loving every second of it. We even spotted some buzzards gliding overhead, which was a lovely moment. We attempted a group photo of all 6 dogs, which, as you'll see, was absolutely not a success, but we had a good laugh and carried on. After the walk, it was just the girls back on the smallholding, soaking up the sunshine. It had been such a cold few months, with snow quite late in the year, so to finally be outside without coats, just running around freely, felt incredibly refreshing. There's generally nothing quite like a bit of countryside air. You can see Foxy's back end is still a little wobbly at times, but she's happy, and that matters more than anything. We revisited the miniature ponies later in the day, and this time Foxy got so excited she actually tried to get Amy to play, which was just the most wonderful thing to see. Amy, ever the gentle soul, seemed to sense that Foxy can't go full speed yet, so she played along carefully and sweetly. The ponies, meanwhile, looked absolutely baffled by the whole situation. Then the big horses came over to say hello too, one of them wearing a full fly cover, which is always a dramatic entrance. We let them out into the other field and watched them go. And then there was the woodpecker. This little character visited several times a day, especially in the mornings, and every single time it was just a joy to watch. Sitting out there, watching the birds away from the city, it reminded me how peaceful and restorative a bit of countryside can be. The next morning was a little cool, but the day warmed up beautifully, and we were treated to bright blue skies. We headed out for another walk, and Foxy was given it everything she had, trying her best to keep up with the pack, not wanting to be left behind for a single second. I did carry her here and there when she needed it, but she always wanted back down. She wanted to be with the other dogs. She wanted to be part of it. Watching her just being a dog again, I can't put into words how much that means after everything she's been through. She even claimed the best spot in the house by the end of the evening, the bear. She settled into the throne seat like she owned the place, very pleased with herself, and rightly so. As the weekend went on, she did start to tire a little, which is completely expected. She was carried more than she walked at times, but every moment she was down, she was keen, engaged, and happy. The forest ground here is actually ideal for her. Soft underfoot, easy on her legs. Hard pavements and stony paths are still tricky, but out here in the woods she just comes alive, sniffing everything, soaking up the sunshine, being exactly who she was before all of this. It has been an absolute joy to watch her be a normal dog again, after such a long time of restrictions, treatments, and uncertainty. She is doing so well, and we are so proud of her. It was nice to see the ponies again and refuel in the forest. The trees have a really calming effect. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.